Well, we're here with Professor James Jones here today, who's given a research seminar at St Edmunds College. And I'd just like to take a few minutes to talk about the theme of your work here today. And perhaps if you could just begin by summarizing the main ideas that you were presenting to the people here today.
Well, the topic of the lecture was, does cognitive science subvert religious belief? And basically I was answering, no, it doesn't. But there are people who claim that it does, but that those people are going far beyond the actual empirical evidence that cognitive psychology finds to make a really extravagant bit of interpretive overreach to make that argument. So I reviewed some of the research, and I reviewed some of the nature of scientific explanations in general, and then pointed out some of the places where those people who want to use this research to subvert religion, where their arguments were going far, far, far beyond the actual evidence.
You mentioned that people are trying to use findings and research in cognitive science to, quote-unquote, attack religion. That seems like it forms part of a broader pattern of using different elements of scientific research in that way. Do you think there's a sort of broader backstory there, if you will?
Oh, yes. Oh, certainly in the United States, where you can tell by my accent where I'm from. There is certainly a movement often referred to as new atheists, of people who, as far as I can tell, they'll pick up any stick they can find to beat religion with, and cognitive science seems to be the stick they think works best now. But it could be something else tomorrow. And when eventually people realize that cognitive science doesn't necessarily subvert religious belief, and that it takes either a misinterpretation or a gross extension of any reasonable interpretation to get it to do that, then I think that will sort of fade from the scene, and they'll have to go find something else to beat religion up with. I mean, people attacking religion has been true for millennium, so it's not going to stop just because cognitive science no longer serves that function.
Now, on the other hand, are there surprises in store for religious people of different backgrounds within cognitive science itself?
Well, I do think there are, one of the, as someone who's been involved in the scientific study of religion for decades, one of the things that's implicit and sometimes explicit in the scientific study of religion is that religion is a human phenomena, that it can be studied with the same psychological and psychophysiological tools that are used to study other phenomena. And there are certainly religious people who think that because religion talks about the divine, the religion itself has to be divine. And I think those people are troubled by arguments or research that suggests that no, that religion uses the same cognitive and neurophysiological processes that every other human activity does. And they feel threatened by that. Now, I don't think they have to feel threatened by that. I just think of course, religion is the human response to the divine. But it's a human response, so it's going to be mediated through our cognitive systems and involve our neurophysiology and all those things. And that's not it shouldn't be a threat to religion. But I think there will be people who feel that if you talk about the human side of religion, what else does it have? As a human phenomena, which is what science studies, they're going to feel, they feel threatened, but I don't think they have to feel threatened.
Do you think there's any particular, maybe contemporary reasons for why that's perceived as a threat in some quarters?
No, I think that I think it's that there are people who, as I say, who think that because religion talks about the divine, the talk about the divine itself has to be divine. Whereas certainly the Abrahamic religions have always made a distinction between God and humanity, and so it shouldn't be a threat. And virtually all religions have said that ultimately God is beyond our cognitive capacities, and we see through a glass darkly, or we understand a bit. And so if a scientific research project comes along and says, well, these are some of the cognitive limitations on religion? Yeah, but there's a cognitive limitation on cognitive science. I mean, one of the things that's so frustrating is they don't apply the same critique to themselves that they apply to religion, but cognitive science is the result of human cognitive activity too. Doesn't mean we shouldn't take it seriously.